Around the World with Moby, My First Trip, written by award-winning author Muzna Kazim, recipient of the Pencraft Award for Literary Excellence and the Pinnacle Book Achievement Award. Illustrated by Rabindra Nath Barman. Moby is a wonderful 8-year-old boy with autism who has a fear of traveling. In this book, we will explore helpful strategies that his parents use to get over his fear. One day, Mama comes into my room and says, "Guess what, Moby? In a few weeks, we are going on a trip to Minneapolis." "No, Mama," I cry. "I love my house. I never want to leave. Please don't take me. The big plane scares me." "We will help you get ready for traveling, my dear. Just remember, going on a trip is temporary. We will always come back here. Your home is your permanent place." I'm still feeling scared, and I'm a bit uncertain, but I say it too. My home is my permanent place. My mom gives me a calendar to keep crossing each day off until we leave on our trip. The calendar is going to help me prepare for the upcoming change in my daily schedule. New places scare me a lot, especially airplanes. So, every night, Mom and I are going to read a social story about plane rides. This will be my first trip ever, so these social stories will help me learn the steps we will take for the airplane ride. I will also learn all about the people we will see and the activities we can do on the plane. Mom says that reading a social story will help me accept the changes in my daily routine and enjoy more things. I am very nervous, so I keep reading the social story until I fall asleep. It takes me a long time to go to sleep. It's time to travel. We are getting ready to go on our trip to Minneapolis. My sister Mia is super excited, but I am still feeling nervous and also curious. Minneapolis is a lush green city. It is the biggest city in the state of Minnesota. It has the Mississippi River and tons of lakes and waterfalls. It looks like a wonderful place to visit. I am so glad that my parents showed me videos of the city and also videos of people traveling in airplanes. They have been helping me get ready for this trip for almost 4 weeks. We also read books about Minneapolis. Reading about the places I will visit helps me not feel so afraid. I learned all about the Mall of America, Minnehaha Park, and more cool places in the city. Did you know that the Mall of America is the biggest mall in America? It even has an amusement park inside. Incredible! I also learned about the Stone Arch Bridge and the Lake of the Isles. I'm starting to look forward to seeing these places. It's travel day. Mom and Dad picked me up from school right after lunch. I can't believe how fast the school day went by. I must be excited about the big trip. I say goodbye to my teacher, and once we get in the car, my mom shows me a colorful visual schedule to help me navigate all the steps at the airport. This will help me stay calm because I know what's coming. Mia falls asleep as soon as we are on our way to the airport. Sometimes I wish I could fall asleep as easily as Mia. We reach the San Diego airport right on time. I love elevators, and I can't wait to ride one once we are inside. The elevators are really cool and big, and they have lots of buttons inside. They also have braille buttons, so disabled people can use them. The inside of the door is just like a mirror, and I put my arms out just like an airplane. The buttons light up a pretty color, and the doors make a ding every time they open and close. I love to make the ding sound. I hold my hands together and hop with excitement. My mom had called the airlines 2 days before the flight to let them know that I have autism and that it's hard for me to wait in long lines. So the airline gave us special assistance, which helped us avoid the long security lines and go directly to our gate. I'm so relieved. Now it's time to board the plane. It's almost a 4-hour flight, and Mom goes over all the things that I can choose to do while we fly. The social story explained that the plane might be noisy and bumpy, so I make sure to put on my headphones to lower the noise. As the plane takes off, I get very nervous and I feel like I can't sit still. After a few minutes, the captain turns off the seatbelt sign and I get up to walk around for a bit. When we get back to our seats, my mom sets a countdown timer. When this goes off, she says, You can walk again. We have about 3.5 hours left until we get to Minneapolis. The plane ride feels like it's never going to end, but Mom takes out my choice board, which helps pass time quickly. I color a picture of the Mall of America while we eat a snack. Dad tells me all about how the plane works. It is difficult for me to remember everything, but listening to Dad makes me feel calm. This is a passenger jet, and there are 2 pilots up front who are steering it. The flight attendants are here to help us stay safe and comfortable. The time flies by quickly, and soon we reach Minneapolis. We get dinner near the airport and then head to our hotel. The hotel is different from my room at home. I've never slept away from home before, and it feels scary, but Mom and Dad make sure that my nighttime routine is exactly the same. Mom brought me my special pillow and blanket, and she tucks me and Mia into bed with a kiss on the forehead. The smell of my pillow and blanket reminds me of home, and it helps soothe me. Later in the night, I wake up crying and ask to go home. Mom comforts me and shows me pictures of our house. We talk about San Diego, and she rubs my back until I feel better. In the morning, we have breakfast and then go to the Mall of America. It's huge! I like to flap my hands fast when I'm excited. That's how I express my happiness. The mall has so many cool rides, but it's a bit noisy, so I put my headphones on. We all go on the Ferris wheel first. It goes so high that I think I can touch the butterflies dancing on the ceiling. It's so cool to be up that high. After the Ferris wheel, I go on the carousel, and it's nice to go in a quiet circle. Hey Moby, do you want to go on any big rides? Dad asks. I take a look. They are really loud and go really fast. I don't like that feeling, but my dad always helps me try new stuff. First, he comes on the kiddie roller coaster with me. It is way too easy. Next, we go on the medium speed roller coaster. It took a few rounds to get used to it, but before I know it, we've gone on 7 times. I'm so proud of myself. Next, we all go to the M&M store. There are so many colors to choose from. Dad tells me, "Be careful not to eat too much. You can always save more for later." After I eat my chocolate, Mom and Dad let me race around a super cool fountain a few times. They say it's good to get out your energy after you have sugar. Next, Dad and I decide to go on the Fly Over America ride. Mia's not allowed since she's too small, so she stays with Mom. The line is really long and I start feeling bored really quickly. Dad notices that I'm moving around a lot and playing with my hands, so he and I start playing I Spy to make the time go faster. Once we start playing, the line seems to move much quicker, and I don't feel so bored. It's our turn now. It's exciting to fly through different parts of America on this 3D ride. We see some really cool things like horses on the plains and a steamboat on the river. My favorite part is when we fly by the ocean. I feel like I'm really flying, and I can feel the ocean mist on my face. The best part is the soothing music playing in the background. I feel like my mind is free of all the extra thoughts that bother me. I think Fly Over America is my favorite ride ever. At the end of the day, Mom and Dad take us back to the hotel. Mia falls asleep super fast on the way, and I start feeling sleepy too. Back at the hotel, Mom tells me about what we're going to do tomorrow while we do my bedtime routine. It's always good for me to know the schedule ahead of time so that I know what to expect next. Mom asks me, "What was your favorite part of today?" I tell her, "It was Fly Over America. It was the coolest ride ever." I had a great day, but I still felt unsettled coming back to the hotel instead of my home. The next morning, we have breakfast and then go to Minnehaha Park for a nice walk together. Mia tries to catch every butterfly she sees from her stroller, but I don't think she actually catches any of them. We take a moment to feed the beautiful, tiny birds flying by, and we also see lots of people jogging with their dogs. I like talking to people with dogs. At first, I'm scared to ask them about their dogs, but Dad helps me by showing me how to start. I walk up to one and say, "Hi, I'm Moby. I love dogs. What's your dog's name?" His owner replies, "His name is Shaggy." And I ask, "Can I pet Shaggy? Can I pet him?" I tend to repeat my questions because sometimes the words jumble up in my mind and I have difficulty thinking about what to ask next. Many times, repeating questions means I am looking for more knowledge. My parents understand that, and they help me provide more knowledge. "This is a golden retriever, Moby," Dad says. They are sweet, loving dogs and are great with kids. Shaggy's owner says yes to me petting him. He's so soft. At the end of our walk, Mom asks me if I want to put my feet in the water. I'm scared at first, but Mom reminds me, it's okay if you don't like it, but it's always good to try new things. I feel nervous, but I decide to take off my shoes and give it a try. I don't like the way the squishy ground feels on my feet. I tell her once I've tried it, and the water is icy cold. She smiles at me and says, I like that you give it a try. Let's just sit by the water now and count the fish. It was so serene that for a moment I forgot about everything else. I love fish. After lunch, we go to the Lake of the Isles, where we saw lots of people paddle boating. People use their feet like on a bike to move them through the water, Dad said. Mom took Mia for a stroll while Dad and I sat calmly and watched the boats. Sitting quietly is my special time with Dad. I listen to the sweet melody of birds chirping, and Dad points out different things around us, like the big trees, the sky, the houses, and the cars whizzing by. The sound of the water is so amazing. I could listen to it forever. After lunch, we take a quick biking trip at the Stone Arch Bridge over the Mississippi River. The entire bridge is made up of huge stones. My dad tells me that it used to be a railroad bridge, but now it's only used by pedestrians and bikers. Back at the hotel, Dad helps me go through my nighttime routine. After I'm done, Mom and Dad tell me that we're going home the next day. I tell them, I'm excited to go home, but I've liked our adventure. Dad replies, it's okay to be sad when something ends. We'll have more adventures. I nod and say, I like going on adventures, but my house will always be my best place. Mom and Dad go over the visual schedule for the airport and the social story about flying on the plane. This time I know what to expect, so traveling next time won't be as scary as it was before. It's such an awesome feeling to be back home. I like my things to be back in the exact same places as they were, so Mom helped me unpack my luggage right away. We keep talking about our trip while we empty our bags. After we unpack, Dad puts all our photos from Minneapolis on the computer. We talk about each photo and what we were doing in them. It's almost like we're there all over again. Then I write down 5 things that I enjoyed about our trip. It's difficult for me to explain things verbally, but writing them down helps me organize my thoughts and convey my emotions in a much better way. It feels so good to be back home. As soon as it was bedtime, happy emotions filled me and I started jumping on the bed. My parents were glad to see me happy. I know I will sleep like a baby tonight. Mom and Dad are so proud of me. I feel proud of myself as well. My first trip was such a big success. The social story and the visual schedule really helped me stay calm and be flexible. I had so much fun on our trip, but I feel really happy coming back home. I fall asleep thinking to myself, I wonder where we'll go for our next adventure.